Alright, here's my final iteration for the first-person shooter level. Um, Changes I made here is I used to have a propane tank here. The whole point of that was so you can easily take out this enemy just by doing some sort of explosive action. I realized that doesn't really make a lot of sense because you're not going to get a propane tank up here that easily. And that's coupled with the fact that there is no ladder here, so I can keep this enemy there. So I just put a beehive up here. I googled it, and bees do survive during the winter, so they're just hibernating and whatnot. So you shoot that, it'll blow up and kill them all the same. The player spawns here, and that's the first enemy they see. But I want them to know that from a distance what the beehive is, so I put another beehive right there. So they walk in, they hear the bees buzzing, they're like, oh, that's a beehive, and they see that at that distance, and they shoot it, and it blows up. So that's good. Also, if they shoot this one to test what it is, it doesn't alert any enemy, so that's a safe way for them to learn this mechanic before they take on that enemy over there. Other changes I made, I've added in a little bit more details. I added in this sort of like walked texture on the ground in the snow, so there's paths to find. So that way it looks like the enemies roam around a certain pattern when in fact they just roam around everywhere. So I kind of just put this everywhere, stemming from doors to places. So I have a path going from like here and around, and it'll go over there. Another point I did is I figured out how to keep enemies in certain places, so I put in more of the animation points. So what happens is whenever an enemy goes to a certain spot, they will do this action that's listed here. So like this one says guard taking a picture, so they'll walk by and take a picture of this dead body in the rebel camp that they conquered. Same thing over here with a guard mocking this wolf over here. So this is a good way to keep two enemies over here, which was a problem I had before where I would place enemies over here and then they would just wander all the way over there. So the player would go around the back side of the camp, unleash this wolf, and basically just storm through the camp and killing everything. And that was a little bit too strong. So now those two stand there, and if you were to ever kill an enemy or alert an enemy some way, these enemies will stop what they're doing and they will ignore these animation points. So it's a good place for keeping them idle while also giving them some personality. Another big thing I did is I filled in all the buildings, so now everyone kind of tells a story. So this is the communications room. So you have some communication equipment, computers, file cabinets. Adjacent to that, I have this sort of drug room where players, or where the enemy's pagan men's forces are infusing like heroin, I think, or this is opium. They're infusing opium into the food and the tea supply to keep the people compliant. That's a thing that happens in the story mill, so this kind of reinforces that narrative while also providing some cover here. So I placed in some bookshelves with cookware and stuff like that, so the player can, like, you know, fight in this area without having to worry about having no cover. In here, sort of a break room, so I put some chips and food and stuff inside. I have a little bar here, also used for taking cover. I put another animation point here for a guard just taking a break. This used to be a guard like drinking, but I realized it's one of those permanent animations, so the second enemy was come here, they would just stop and like become like the drunk of the game. And that wasn't good. They needed to move, because like if you come in through this door or something like that, like looking in the back right corner is kind of weird, so like you'd almost always get caught. Same thing with here, since they're facing this direction, you walk in and you'd already be screwed. Upstairs is kind of like the resting place for both. It used to be probably a resting place for the rebels that were here, but once they cleared out the camp, they probably just kept it the same. But if they do sleep, they probably do it here. And I added in a cool little thing where you walk up the ladder. Since you're forced to look at this, I kind of made this a narrative point here that it used to be a rebel camp, so you can see like the white rebel emblem there, but then Pankadman conquered it, so now it's his emblem on top of it. Animation point on top of the building, so the guard actually guard there. I also moved the guard that was at the top of the building into here. That way, because what used to happen is that when a player would spawn, this guard would walk down the ladder immediately and then stop right there, because that animation point kind of pulls him towards there. And so he'd get shot like first and immediately. But now I believe he either A, chooses a path either up or across, or B, I think he actually goes downstairs and walks outside or something like that. Which is good, because I think this guard, after he's done with that animation point, he walks over here and stops there. So it kind of changed up the enemy wave, so this player's not like dominating. Added a narrative over here, so this I have a blown-in door here, and I put C4 on the side, so it shows that the pagan men forces kind of came in from the backside and blew out this door, and then kind of, you know, killed these people and dragged them over here into the animal cages, because that's what they think of them. And then this is right next to the animal cages. This is where they put they would like skin animals for their meat and stuff like that. So that's what the rebels would do. And then here's a supply area for the rebels, or either for the rebels or for the pagan men forces. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. But it also reinforces the narrative that there was a truck that came in and they were just recently taking out the stuff and putting the T on it and to have it shipped out. Let's see. I think that's it. I added in some more items here and there. It's like a little barbecue place for them outside their break room. I think that's it. Let's see. I think I put some of that walked snow texture around here, so that's same. I don't know what happened here. I'm just gonna move this back there. Okay. And I think I cleared up this in putting the walked-in snow texture here. I think I cleared up the path here. So from right around here, when you spawn, you kind of look up and you can see like this path is much more clear. So it tells you can go up here. While that's being reinforced by the flags and banners I put there. And then everything else here is the same. So I have a guy that was killed by a wolf over here. Put a fire up there. Oh, and another thing, I had a problem here where if you were trying to go down this ramp, that enemy there could see you all the way down, and it was very hard to go down without actually killing him. And if you missed him, he would come over here, and he would look this direction and alert you, and the whole camp would be alerted, and it was a fiasco. So I placed this down tree right here. So when you're walking by, if you stay a little bit over here to the right, that enemy actually cannot see you. But at the same time, you can't really shoot that enemy without being maybe right here or like standing up fully and shooting, which is a risk reward there because you need to reveal yourself to shoot that enemy and they can see you all the same. And place a rock there if the player wanted to stop there and shoot. Otherwise, I'd probably have to get rid of that area because it made no sense to be that open. And yeah, last thing I did is I added in this little grapple point, so the player didn't have to go over here and jump up this building, kill that enemy, risk being alerted by, or alerting that guard if they were still alive, and then getting the ammo point. Now they can just go here, grapple up, get that ammo point, then jump down and have access to the body armor there and the light machine gun. And then I placed a gate here, destroyed and stuff, and everything else is the same. So I'm gonna do a quick playthrough. See that guard's over there is still mocking the wolf. And I think there's a guard over there taking pictures if I can get over there and see. No, but that guy's still mocking the wolf, so you can see the animation point at work. You can see the tree blocks the line of sight there.
I think it's strange that Pagan Mint never makes public appearances anymore. I can't even remember the last time I saw him in person. I think he's dead. No!
And I did place an enemy here to begin with, so that this area was properly guarded. But since I killed that enemy there, they figured out I think he moved. Yeah, there he is.
Search the area! There's a killer out there! Oh. Good thing, Camine! I'm calling reinforcements! Get that in there! I'm gonna kill you! I didn't get it up! Alarm! Okay!
I have no idea where that guy went. This is terrifying.
Cut them down!
Maybe not. That's embarrassing.
What is it? We can take him! Ah! Over there! Shoot it!
Thank God. Cool.
You have no way out!
Do it. No. Awesome. So yep. Kept everything, kept all the line of sights the same. Again, that worked, so there was no reason to change it. Yeah, that's the level.